What's going on, Tamer? It's your boys, the host of DigiPod, the digital podcast. With me in the studio is once again Gino and Lewis. Yes, 2 weeks in a row. Well, for 2 weeks in a row for y'all, Lewis is here. I told you, new season, new us. We got third person here. How y'all doing today?
I'm doing good, man. World Cup has started, so once every 4 years, I turn into a sports person because I'm not a sports person otherwise. So I'm having a good time watching World Cup. Every game's been pretty good so far. Beyond that, too, the Appmon game finally got that fan translation, so I've been playing that hard. So it's been a good week or so for me. How about you, Lewis?
It's pretty good. A lot of store champs these last few weekends. Definitely been ramping up in the competitive scene, and honestly, it's a very good feeling. I like it. And then same thing, World Cup. I'm not too big of a sports person, but everybody around me seems to love soccer a lot more than I do. I'm not sure if I should start, gearing my mind into that, but also very excited for the Knicks winning, so that's a nice little.
I was about to go on. That's a nice. Hold on, give me a second.
That's a nice little feeling.
Speaking of World Cup, the only thing I know is D-Go Messi out here doing another hat trick. It's lighter for a 39-year-old dude.
Yeah, that dude's crazy. What's so funny is that Messi puts a hat trick in, and then like the next game, Spain goes 0-0 with some no-name country. Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't put a single goal away.
I saw he got hurt or something like that, right?
I don't think he got hurt.
I thought I heard something about an injury or something like that. I don't know.
Craziness.
Yeah, it just cements, Messi is the GOAT, not Ronaldo. I'm sorry for those Ronaldo fans. But speaking of,
last time I followed soccer, I was on Wayne Rooney. Okay, that was a while ago. Wayne Rooney was my GOAT.
That sounds like a long time ago.
It was.
It is a minute ago. I know some soccer names, so like I've heard of the name before.
He knows ball a little.
I know a little soccer, or football in the rest of the world.
Right.
But yeah, the reason why for y'all it's going to be back-to-back weeks, but we haven't recorded since 2 weeks ago or something like that. Now it's on me. The NBA Finals was on, and I had to watch the Knicks at Monday, which is our normal recording day. That was game 3. So Knicks was at home. I knew this crowd was gonna go crazy, and they ended up losing. It is what it is. And then we were like, yeah, Wednesday we'll record. Psych, Wednesday is game 4. I gotta watch that too. And so we ended up didn't record, and then obviously we know what happened. Game 5 happened. The Knicks won in 5. Knicks in 5, And today, as of this recording, was the parade for the championship. That was amazing to watch. I wish I was able to go in person, but life was lifing this week for me already. Again, life's been lifing a lot for me. So, it is what it is. But I'm so hyped to see the Knicks win because the boy Jalen Brunson is the GOAT, King of New York.
The GOAT.
So, got just hype for him. Just hype for him to be able to win. We'll see what they do next year. But this year, Knicks won a championship in 53 years. It's, some people thought they would die before they would win one. So my father was included, and he's like, I'm probably never going to see a championship. But here we are, right? Y'all not here for sports talk.
No, this is a sports podcast now. Digimon is canceled.
Now we're switching gear.
Low key, I'm gonna tell Varney, I'm trying to do a sports podcast because I could do one for sure. I got some good takes, I think. But anyways, neither here nor there. Digimon, this is what y'all here for. This is not the sports podcast. This is a Digimon podcast. We're gonna skip locals. We got a lot to talk about because we have 2 weeks to talk about. So we're not gonna really do too much talking on locals. We do have a lot of store championships to talk about. We're gonna try to squeeze as much of that as possible into this pod with our other topics that we want to get to. So maybe today be a longer pod. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, store championships have been pretty cool, like Lewis had mentioned. Spoiler though, Gino will talk all about it, but Gino won our store championship. So that means we, as in Gino and I, don't have to go travel anywhere because I obviously, I have my regional, my invite from Virginia, so I don't care. I was just participating just to participate. But Lewis, on the other hand,
You got work to do, buddy.
Slacking. He got work to do. He got work to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run through mine real quick because mine was a disappointing run. So obviously we went to Sword and Stone. Shout out to them. That's in Wilkes-Barre, PA. For anyone who doesn't know, they host 2 years in a row a store championship, and obviously that's local to us per se. And so we went. Obviously, I brought Sean because I felt really good in the 3v3. No changes, no nothing. I'm gonna run it back again. And unfortunately, the run back was not as good as the 3v3. And so I ended up going, I think it was 3-3. We had 6 rounds, right?
5 rounds. It was 5 rounds.
So I went 2-3. That's what it was. Round 1, I played against. I don't even remember at this moment. Oh,
that was Reboot,
it was a
right?
Reboot. Yeah, Reboot. I ended up winning that one 2-0. They didn't see anything that they needed when it came to their pieces, and by the time they did, I just OTK'd him. Game 2, he saw the Reboot, but I was able to just still like get around it because they don't want. I got option neg, and I have tamer neg. So that actually put him down to like 1k DP at one point, and so he was never going to block with it until the very end, and I just like run it over. And so I give him back. I think it was like 0 security with room mode on board, and he got nothing. That's all she wrote basically. Round 2, played against Imperial Jumon. Imperial Jumon out here winning, I guess. Game 1, I fumbled hard. Dude tells me in the beginning, he was like, yeah, I haven't played Digimon in a while. I just kind of got back into it again. And he has 81 Imperial build, so he has the 8001 stuff. But he said it, and I was like, you know, this is light work. So I ended up misplaying on some dumb shit. So basically what happened was he goes into 80 on Imperial Jumon. He goes into Imperial Jumon. My hand sucked. So I was like, I just need to clear this Imperial Jumon Dragon mode and call it a day. So my dumb ass was like, I'm going to have my Marcus swing into this Imperial Jumon at 12k. We're going to crash. My Marcus is going to go into security. And I'm just going to, clear board and call it a day. He goes, I do that play basically because I don't have a Sean Greymon at that point. And he says, okay, your Marcus dies. I was like, your Imperial Jumon dies too because we crash. He was like, psych. Unkillable by battle until the end of your turn. I was like, ooh, yeah, I totally forgot about that part. So I tried to big brain it, and that was not a big brain moment because I totally forgot about that. And so I was like, all right, cool. Marcus dies. He ends up getting it because of that. I didn't see a shine, and he deals with my board. 80-1 Imperial, yada, yada, yada. Game 2, I ended up taking it. He doesn't see a Davis Ken early, and I just ended up shine OTKing. Game 3 leads to a point of him having Primo and then Dragon mode on board. And I'm doing combos, I'm doing things because like I know he has it. I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. He keeps thinking about the Primo. I'm just like, what are you thinking about? Like, you're either gonna go into the into the fighter mode or not. Comes to find out, the reason why he was thinking about it is because he had Paladin mode in his hand and not not FM. So I ended up just clearing the Dragon mode eventually because he decides to not to go into that PM, which is smart on his end because you don't want Ace Overflow. But I just ended up taking control and just winning. Round 3 is where things go downhill for me because I run into the Shine mirror match, Data Squad Shine, and game 1 I just blow him out the water. There was no contest basically. I had everything, he didn't see anything. Game 2, I miss out on I needed one more Marcus. I need 81 Marcus and Algo to OTK him because that turn I had everything. But I only saw one Marcus the whole time, and my mistake was not taking a BT13 Marcus early, the map setter, because I was like, surely I'll find another Marcus. Comes to find out I don't find the second Marcus, and I do 5 checks. I cleared board. I'm like, all right, I need to like do something to find it. I have 3 memory. Let's drop an Agumon for search. Search top 4. Can I find a Marcus? No. So I end up losing because now he has the clap back and I didn't have no answers. He goes into room mode. That's a neg 10k. Neg 10k hurts really badly. And so that's all she wrote. And then game 3, I had an okay hand. I had a 3 to 6, no markers, no options. So like I have the line. But I don't have no markers, no options. So I'm like, I think I might need to mulligan this. I mulliganed a brick. And that was basically it. So I ended up losing because of that. When I did look at my mulligan, because I looked at the top 5 and I looked at my next draw, the next 2 draws, because I was going first. So it would have been Agu plus a Geo Gray. I would have drew into Marcus. So like I wish I would have done it, but it is what it is. Round 4, I played against Beelstar. Lost that one 2-0. I just did not see the right pieces at the right time. I was slow out the gates most times when it comes to needing my pieces, and I'm just letting Beelstar set up basically. And unfortunately, game 1 took about 40 minutes. When we started game 2, it was like 10 minutes left on the round, and I was like, brother, you need to hurry up your plays, dog. We can't keep doing this. It was probably like the slowest Beelstar player I've ever played against. And I mean, he was new to the deck. He said he brought the deck in. This is the first time he's playing it. But at the same time, like if you're doing that, you're already in round 4. You should know where your plays are at least. Which kind of like irked me. Like I felt like calling judge because it was so slow at times. I was like, all right. I lost game 1. I packed it up, and then game 2. I started out. I'm moving faster, which I notice is making him move faster, and so I just don't see what I need again. And then I got cooked. I think he ended up going to a room mode or something like that, and I was like, ooh, yeah. I only got an Agu in the back. I can't do anything much about that. So I'm losing, and then round 5, I played against Bears. Game 1, he got to the Callus. I was like, yeah, GG's, dog. I can't do anything about Callus. with the way my hand was, ain't nothing I was gonna do about Callus. And I did deal with the Callus, and then Fortitude happened. So I was like, yeah, this is what's expected. And then game 2, he doesn't see Callus. He goes into Marsmon. I end up winning. Game 3, I was 1 piece off of OTK. He goes into Callus, and then that's all she wrote for me. And that's all it was. And I again like 13th or something like that. I remember I was tight because I was like, I had to wait for top 16 prizing. Oh yeah, because I was like 14th, I think it was. I was like, damn it, Gino, I gotta wait for prizing now. And we ended up leaving in a fucking monsoon. It was downpouring by that.
I was
at that point.
soaked.
It was crazy. Yep.
Yeah, that was insane. So real quick before I jump into the Sword and the Stone run, BT25 I think has been my set. I'm on a generational 9 tournaments in a row win right now. I haven't lost a single tournament in BT25 somehow. But things have been going really well for me.
Our last locals, you should have lost.
It was actually the locals before my last. It's not my fault you lost. Right.
Crazy. Just know he wasn't undefeated. Let's play like that.
I wasn't undefeated, but I did win. All right. So either way, this has been a really great set for me. I've been loving all the decks that I've been playing with. And my number 1 this format, and probably for a little bit too. Hopefully it can continue to be as good as it feels right now, is Volcanismon. As you guys know from the last episode, I took that to the 3v3 and we won with it. I made some changes since then. I took out some 5s. I threw in a couple more options. I went up to 4 Danon cannons. And I think they were all really good choices. The deck, I think, is in a nearly perfect spot. I could maybe swap out 1 or 2 cards. But I'm really happy with the list right now. Had a couple interesting things happen to me though this tournament. So round 1, I played against Angels, and this guy, he sits down across from me, and he goes, "I built this deck this morning. Haven't really played it much. And I'm just like, yes. It's like, I, however, did not build this deck this morning. I've been labbing with it and trying to figure out the best ratios, and like I know what my deck does, and I can do it well. He ended up bricking anyway. Man slammed Seraphimon Ace, not Shadow Seraphimon Ace, Seraphimon Ace, the blue-yellow one.
Wow.
So it was free memory for me to get later. I think I got a free ignition flare off from that. Or a 1-cost ignition flare, right? For 4 overflow. But honestly, pretty light work. I beat that one 2-0, no problems. Next round, I played against Red Hybrid. And this is actually really funny because this is the same Red Hybrid player I played against last season when I was playing Scuba Duke, when I was on Blue Gallant. And he was also playing Red Hybrid then, and he got so salty when we played because I'm basically playing a counter to his deck. Once I get into Hexablow, back in that format, there's nothing Red Hybrid was doing to get rid of it. And so that's exactly what I would do. I would very quickly go into Hexablow and turn off his deck, and he was very tight about it after the round. Very salty. So we sit down. And the GOAT for me in this matchup is Sonic Shot. Being able to suspend a Tamer and keep it stunned until past their unsuspend phase saved me lethal several times. Like Sonic Shot is one of those cards that I had been waffling on for a while that I'm like, man, maybe I go to 1 Sonic Shot. Nah, it's staying at 2. It's so useful. It's good into Beat Break. It's good into anything that really needs to suspend their Tamers to do things. I didn't play Beat Break in this tournament, but in other tournaments with Volcanus, you use that to stun Tomoro, and now that's 2 sources that they're losing off of the suspend effect. So like Sonic Shot's just really great for interacting with Tamers and Tamer decks. And honestly, even when you're not dealing with Tamers and Tamer stuff, like Sonic Shot, just really good card. 3 cost is fantastic because a lot of the time you end on 0 memory, so you need an option to play for 3 so that you can get a double play off the Dan and Cannon. Right, so Sonic Shot just always there for me. I know if no one got me, Sonic Shot got me. All right, I love me my Sonic Shot. All right, so basically game 1, Sonic Shot got me there, and then game 2, I had the most disgusting OTK. So for those of you who don't know, the Volcanus OTK tip play is typically you do 1 chip damage, and then they answer your rookie or your rookie dies, whatever. They raise a body, they do whatever their deck is doing, and then you slam Volcanus, you link 2 arms, you get 3 checks, and then you use Dan and Cannon to play your factory area, which plays Marsmon for cheap. Marsmon battles whatever body's left on the board. That burns their last security, and then Marsmon is able to swing Rush for game off of the play from Dan and Cannon swing, and the Volcanus gives all your TS stuff Rush. It's crazy. Very good combo. I was in this weird spot where he gave me, I think, 2 memory. And I had Dan and Cannon, and I had banked 2 in-between theaters at this point. That's another thing that's great about this deck is that it's so easy to play your theaters, and then you can just do crazy stuff with it later. So I end up going to 7, and he's at 4 security left, but I don't have 2 Divine Arms. I only have 1. So I play my Volcanus. I keep turn because I was at exactly 7 memory, and I have 1 Divine Arms, and I link something else. Doesn't matter. Point is, I swing 2 checks. Then I play Tidal Stream.
Oh, God.
Tidal Stream says, bounce a thing, and if you do, unsuspend. And Volcanusmon says, whenever one of your Digimon are linked, it may attack, not once per turn. So for 5, I slam Tidal Stream, Volcanusmon unsuspends, does 2 more checks, and then I do the Factorial Area play anything off of Dan and Cannon, and then it swings for a game. It was insane, and he was not very happy about it either. But whew, boy. So I honestly, it was pretty quick 2-0 for me. We're getting our decks together, and he's like, hey, actually, do you want to play again? This is one matchup I haven't played against. I kind of just want to see how it goes. I'm like, yeah, sure. So we're getting ready to play again. And the judge comes over and says, oh, you guys are done. I'm going to do deck check. Okay, fine, whatever. We hand our decks over. Goes through. Judge pulls me aside and goes, "You're running a 49 card deck." And I'm like, "What? There's no way." I count my cards like 3 times over. 49 cards in my deck. I'm missing a Coronamon. And I'm like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "Basically, you need to find a Coronamon and put it in this deck, and you have to go into your next match with a loss. Like that's what you're taking." And luckily, Coronamon is a common card, so they're just sitting around at this tournament. I bum one off of the guy that I just beat. I put it in the deck. Dan helps me re-sleeve because we're getting close to time. And I go into the Beelstar matchup down a game. And I'm like, this sucks. I have to play the best deck in the form, probably the best deck in the format, right? Down a game. I'm like, ugh, hell. So I sit down, and I don't know, maybe you could call this a, I feel like you have to announce this, but I told my opponent, "Hey, I had a thing happen with the judge, so I'm down a game. Just so you know. So you only got to win one game, and it's done." Game 1, he finds 0 bind red triggers. Does not find a single bind red trigger. And so I'm able to just do the Volcanismon thing. Beelstar is never a problem for Volcanismon because I just de-digivolve her. She's never going to get her counter effect, ever. Because she is famously a dual card, so she has to be on top of something. So dealt with that.
Even like the on deletions of the Lady Devi.
The Lady Devi,
right? Yeah, very valuable because Volcanismon is almost always coming down with a de-digivolve too, so we don't have to worry about the on deletion, which is very valuable. Also that game, guess who came up again? My boy Sonic Shot. I suspended his one and only Asuna in that one game, and he could not rebuild because he couldn't have just free access to his trash off Asuna. So that was really valuable. And then game 2, we found 1 bind red trigger, the one that my Coronamon hit out of security, which is perfect because now I play Volcanismon for 7 and I do the whole thing. So somehow I squeezed by that with technically a 2-1, but we got there. Next 2 rounds were both Volcanismon mirrors. Apparently everybody was on Volcanis at this event. I was on it. These 2 guys were on it, obviously. And one of our other friends, you guys know them from last episode. We bodied them twice. That was Drew. Drew was on Volcanis as well. So Volcanis was doing very well at that tournament. Top 2 were both Volcanismons. So I get into this, and I think he's running card for card that list that had just come out where it's like on 1 Master Blimp and some other stuff. And I don't super agree with that list. I think that Danon Cannon and Factory Area have to be 4-ofs in that deck because they're basically your win buttons. And there are situations where, like, in my previous build, I was on 3 Danon Cannon and 2 Monica. And every time I saw a Monica in my hand and it wasn't a Danon Cannon, like, I wish this was a Danon Cannon. So, like,
the 5th one.
Yeah, basically, right. So having that sort of the knowledge from playing it really heavy on the 3v3, and I had also won 1 or 2 locals with it as well after I had made my changes. So I'm like really getting comfortable with the deck. So I think I had just a little more knowledge into the matchup. And I know game 1, he couldn't find his Divine Arms as fast. And that's like the make or break when it comes to Volcanismon. You really got to find your Divine Arms because that's how you're punching for damage. Not to mention it's just a great search card. So like finding it early is as good as finding it a little bit later. But you need to find it before you slam Volcanis a lot of the time. But man, the deck is just so flexible because you can go for the Volcanis OTK, which I generally do because the best way to win a game is to not let your opponent play anymore. But Volcanismon has a lot of staying power. Combined with Factory Area, you can get blockers up. You have to remove it 3 times before it goes away most of the time. So he can't be de-digivolved because you're usually slamming him. Links aren't sources, so kick rocks basically. So yeah, that's what ended up happening. And then the last one I played against another Volcanis, and this guy's list was a little different. He was playing some interesting choices. He was on the newest Asuna, which I tried in my list once, and I came to the same problem that I did before. I wish that this was Dan and Cannon. Like, literally, I have space for one more tamer, and I think Monica is just more valuable. There are some games where I'll play Dan and Cannon early, and then I'll be on one memory, and I can slam Monica, grab back the boost that I burned that turn, and then play it back again with Dan and Cannon. So I like Monica as my secondary tamer more than the 3-cost Asuna Summer people are on, the 4-cost Asuna. He was on both of them, which I get, right? Because if you have the 3-cost and you pitch the 4-cost, you get the 4 for free, and then, it's a good card. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't like it as much. So game 1, it was a really slow game because we both could not find like Divine Arms. And the mirror for Volcanismon is so strange because at no point do you want any of your bodies on the board ever. So like when you swing into security, you're like, a lot of the time the decision making is, oh, I have Kokuamon. I'll raise Kokuamon effect. I can Digivolve. No, I'm not going to Digivolve. I'm just going to swing Kokua because I need it to die. Because if this goes into a Blimpmon and then it hits a rookie in security and it lives, now I'm in trouble because Volcanismon is coming down on the opposite side for 7. And that puts you in a really bad spot. So like a lot of the time you have to make those decisions like, all right, we got to just miss this draw so that my rookie can be gone. But we got there. He was on, I remember that game. He played Congo on me. I ended up, I had like our game 1 was just really, really like spaghetti falling out of our pockets. Like nothing was going right on either side. Like I had like a 3 or 4 wide board. He was playing like Master Blimpmon. Like that's not how you want to play like Volcanus. You don't want to have to end up with that kind of board state. In most decks, having a 3-4 wide board sounds great, not Volcanus. So especially not in the mirror. But we got there. And then yeah, he was running a Congo and a Crimson Blaze. And his list was just a little bit different than mine. We took a look at some of our card ratios. The Master Blimp took me for surprise because game 1, I went for a big Volcanismon push, passing a lot of memory because I expected to just win that turn, forgetting that once I de-digivolved Master Blimp, he had Factory Area, so it would still be a blocker and didn't have Piercing. So I ended up like passing a bunch of memory. I'm like, oh crap, I just threw this game, but he didn't have the comeback. So we got it there. And then game 2 was pretty short. I got the OTK off, chip 1 with the rookie, Volcanus Mars game. It was a really good event for me. And most importantly, it meant that I no longer had to travel anywhere else because I was signed up for a New York one in Queens the next day. And I'm like, I do not want to drive to Queens and figure out where I'm parking and how to do all this stuff. Like, I don't want to park in New York. I've never driven in New York. Last time we went to a New York event, Varney drove. And like, I don't want to do it. And I didn't have to. So we took the W there. Very happy to secure my Nationals invite. And now we're big chilling until Nats.
Yeah, I wish I was fortunate to have my invite, but I did 2 store champs. I actually was at the Silks, which is not Silk, sorry, CarQuest, which was the one that Gino mentioned that he was thankfully didn't have to go to. So it was 6 rounds. I took Beelstar, the same build I ran during our 3v3, and round 1 played into Lance with Jupitermon.
Giratina just gaming?
Giratina just gaming.
Lance?
Nationals champ?
Yeah.
my champion.
World qualifier?
Oh, man. Played him round 1. I got 2-0'd, unfortunately. I didn't see... Game 1, I didn't see a Beelstar, unfortunately. So it was basically just pitch cards off Asuna, try to do my thing. But since he's also playing a TS deck, he passes off a lot of memory. So I wasn't able to trigger any of my 3-cost Asunas efficiently. And then game 2 fell into the same thing, but I only saw my Beelstars and the X's and my rune mode. And I was like, okay, so I'm basically just going to be activating Flybull and praying it doesn't do anything. Pray it doesn't trigger any decode or anything, but I already felt that it was already a losing match because I didn't see my rookies, and I tried mulling into rookies, tried mulling into my image boost, but I didn't see it. So unfortunately, I lost round 1. Round 2 played into a Glowing Dawn. It's a pretty easy matchup for me. They're technically playing with their memory enough that I can just close out the game and then sort of solidify it. The build that I played against was more heavy into Habakiri than into like the I forgot what the owl one is called.
Atratus.
Was playing more into the Habakiri instead of Atratus, so putting himself to like 2 memory, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go full combo and then sit on a rune mode, and then you're pushing up absolutely nothing. Yes, you have 7 memory, but what are you gonna play with 7 memory? That's gonna try to contest against my card. And it's not like he could have de-digiball because I didn't know he wasn't playing the Atratus. So I always sat with a Scopeman on it with protection from digiball and getting bounced. So I took round 2. Round 3 was against another Jupitermon. A little different from Lance's build. It leaned heavier into the promo red-yellow AGO Choosemon, where he would just, slam it down. It has rush, it has May attack, and just went through it. He would just play the...
he was hard dropping
He was playing the new Aegeomon to strip the memory, trigger the Inori. Strip the security, trigger the Inori, Evo into AGO Choose, and then swing. And I was like, oh, I'm like, that's actually, that works. I'm like, what can I do about it? Game 1 went to him. Game 2, he didn't see, I guess, any of his AGO Choose, so I was just bullying him with my rookies until eventually I went Beelstar, do the full combo, strip his whole life, and, that was that for Game 2. Game 3, I saw a pretty good opening hand, played it through, did my combo, brought him down to 1 memory, and then out of nowhere, he goes from AGO Raise. Sorry, he chipped my life to 3. He went AGO Raise, go into the play down Homeros, go into blue AGO Choose after stripping the life, triggering the Inori. Swings. Sorry, D-Evo's my Beelstar. Swings into life, survives, goes into Jupitermon, and then from Jupitermon he goes strip, restand. I was like, okay, I'm down to 1 life. He goes swing, hits that. And then I'm like, okay, what are the odds he has another card? He goes crack in between theater, play Inori, play the 4-drop Aegeomon, strip the life, go into promo, swing. And I'm like, I just saw this happen. So went to that. Round 3 played into Rocks. It was Rocks. I obviously don't strip any of his cards. I focused more into going to the Scopemon to D-Evo, the tall stack. He brought me down to 0 life, and then I just came back with the full Beelstar combo. I drew 3 red binding triggers off my mulligan, so I was like, I guess these are staying in my hand. And then eventually I drew into the line. Hard evoed into Lady Debbie, drew the Beelstar X. And I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't use my Pagumon. I go swing Lady Debbie, trigger her 1 attacking, strip the Hurricane Screw Shot, gain the memory back, activate a Gwart Stormer. Sorry, the black option. I keep forgetting its name. Durblitz. Pop the stack so it couldn't do it. So you couldn't build up into another stack. And then I go, okay, from here, go into Beelstar for reduced cost, restand, use image, go into Beelstar X, and then just proceed to go into Beelstar, activate red binding, tuck underneath, trash security, he's at 2, crack image, go into Beelstar X, trash the other one to devolving, trash it, and then just swing for game. And that was that. Round 4 was another Jupitermon, leaned into the Patamon, the TS Patamon. So I really tried my hardest not to let him trigger his effects. Didn't matter. He would still just raise it up, and he's like, okay, go into AGO. And I'm like, okay, I see where this is happening. Played the green red AGO Chusmon, stunned my
Vortex.
Tamers. stunned my tamers, and I'm like, that does what? And he's like, yeah, it stuns the tamer, and I'm like, God, this is gonna be rough. Just bullies me, and then he goes, game 2. I see my line. Didn't matter. I brought him down to 2 life. He goes raise, go into AGO. AGO takes the top, taps a Nori, goes into blue AGO choose, swings, doesn't die, goes into Junomon. Junomon strips the 2 cards. He goes, puts me to 0, plays Agiomon again from hand, takes his last security, triggers the second Inori he had, goes into the promo AGO choose and swings for game. And I'm just like feeling a trend there. Round 5 played against Glowing Dawn. Fairly favored matchup into me. I just sit on full combo into rune mode. And then round 6, it was Angels OTK. I felt sorry because I was already in the X3 bracket. So I'm like, how do Angels do this bad? He ended up getting it with he actually played the Junomon and the Minervamon in his build. So he was just devoing my stack, trashing my security, playing out the bodies. He played the blue black AGO choose also to restand the Junomon. And I was like, what is happening here? Like, this is disgusting. And that was that. I ended up X3. I got like 28th place. It was probably my worst run with the deck. Took it to the shop, took some cards out, took out took out the second Sculptmon I was playing for, what did I play instead? I have my build right here. I play.
How do you feel about the Jupiter matchup? Because it looks like
Whatever.
like I in my head I feel like this is a favorable matchup because they kill themselves on the way, and then you only need 1 or 2 binding red triggers. But
it
Lewis,
seems
his background noise like crazy from you, I think.
From me?
Someone. All right, you
Was
just
it
fixed
that?
it, Gino. Yeah.
Okay, it was Gino.
Gino
Yeah.
said,
He turned off his OnlyFan. So for my second run, I took out the next one was at Dave's Game Cafe in Connecticut. I took out the second Sculptmon and added the 4th red bind trigger, only because I felt like I didn't need it. Clearly I was lying to myself. Took that out, took out the red Toy Agumons out of the deck, because apparently I never see them, so I just took them out. And I added the 2 TS Lunamons that came out with jamming as an inheritable. The only downside to it is that it doesn't evolve into any of my other level 4s or helps with my play lines. It's more so for the Black Automon.
well, you can go. Well, at least Black God can evo over it, but you can't evo the scope bonds over it.
No. So I ended X2. I ended 11th that day. Round 1 was Volcanismon. Unfortunately, I bullied him a little bit. He was a fairly new player. He's like, I like the game. I've been playing for the last 2 sets, and I was like, oh, you picked Volcanus. He's like, yeah, I like it.
Bullying new players, that's so wrong.
I never want to bully new players. This guy was pretty cool. He just basically, he's like, oh, can I see your Beelstar on deck afterwards? So game one, I lost a die roll. He went first. He set up Coronamon, Dan Cannon. Didn't play anything out, so I was like, okay, I'm not seeing Factory come out. I kept the hand of Rookie, Image, and Dual Card Beelstar, and I think the last 2 cards were both Asuna. So I go, Gazimon and Raising, pitch the go into the 3-drop Asuna, pitch the Sparrowmon, and then go into the 4-drop. And I was like, okay, I'm pretty much set in case he tries to do something. Hits my security, hits Black Automon, and hits Sculptmon. I was like, okay, puts me to 3. I go, okay, start, activate, go, play Black Automon. Black Automon plays the second Asuna that I had in my hand, and then from there it was raise Gazi, search, grabbing Sculptmon, essentially Warp Evo. Go into the Sculptmon. Sculptmon grabbed the card from trash, tuck it underneath, go into Lady Debbie for 1. Or essentially for free because I gained the memory back, and then proceed to just go into OTK from there. Game 2, he set up Volcanus with double Omega, the Omega link. So I was like, okay, put me to 7. I can't use both my Asanas, so that was fine. I raise up Gazi. I go straight into Lady Devi. Black Automon, Lady Devi. Lady Devi goes, activates one of my bind run triggers from not bind run triggers. Dare Blitz, remove one of the stacks, remove one of the options from it. Go into Beelstar. Sorry, activate Fly Bullet, Beelstar, pop it, get the last one out. Tuck the Hurricane Screw Shot underneath. When evoing, activating Red Bind trigger, and then I trashed the Hurricane Screw Shot to put him to 2. But he kept the Volcanus up, so I was just more worried about if he added any more links underneath it. Looks like he couldn't, because I didn't see any of them come out. He goes, all right, I put him to like 3 memory. He plays Tidal Stream, proceeds to link it, and then attacks, bottom decking my my Beelstar. And then on the 2 memory turn, I go, he put me to 2. I go activate Asuna, play back Black Automon, play the 4-cost Asuna from my hand, draw into Kaiser Leomon, and I go, okay, I think I could do something. He goes, I'm like, he didn't have the Factorial, so his guy wasn't a blocker. So I go, all right, Evo into Kaiser Leomon over one of my Asunas. And then I go swing Kaiser Leomon. I hit, what's it called? I think I hit a security. It wasn't Factorial, so I didn't feel too worried. Then I DNA'd into Chimera and swung for game. So he was like, oh, so you play Kaiser and Chimera? And I'm like, if I have access to 4-drops and Tamers, like, why not play like a little hybrid in there? Round 2, played against Lance, lost in game 3.
You can't dodge this guy.
I can't. And he mentioned it. He goes like, why do I always got to play you in every tournament that we're in? And I'm like, I don't know. It's at least I'm not playing against any of my like any of my local friends, which was funny because every single time.
At least I'm not playing against any of my friends, Lance.
No. Local friends.
That's exactly what I heard too.
Local friends. Because every single time we go to like a regional or even at nationals, we've always played against each other at least once. So fighting for the team kill feels really bad. So I really just put myself into the headspace of like, okay, now I got to disassociate. You're my opponent, not my friend at this point. So Lance took it in game 3. He made a couple of adjustments to his Jupiter deck, and I don't know what he did. I think he added Ukomon. He added Ukomon into it, and then that was allowing him to search out the Tamers that he was missing to make it more viable for when he does push out an Aegeomon, he gets his stuff. Game 1 was, I lost a die roll. He went first. He goes Elecmon, Aegeo pass. I go, okay, Gazi, Asuna pass. And then from there he goes push up, play Homeros. And I'm like, okay, now it's starting. And then goes Aegeo swing, hits a Gazi in security, doesn't die. And then he goes into the red yellow Aegeomon and then just blows up my guy on the board, and that was it. And then I was like, fuck him, like he's not even being memory efficient, like he's just pressuring my board. The Asuna that I played out was the 4-drop, so it's not like I could have done something. I just cycle my hand, draw, gain a memory, go to 2, and then from there it was just essentially just me getting bullied. Game 1. Game 2, I see full combo, Beelstar and friends, just his life. Game 3, I didn't see a level 5 at all. And I was like, this feels terrible. The only thing I did do was raise Black Automon. Sorry, go into a Black Automon and just activate Fly Bullet from hand, Arcevo over it, and just chip his security so it's less up for him to play with. Didn't really matter. I gave him too much memory. He pushed up the rookie, went into Aegeo, and then just full comboed me. And that was pretty much it for round 2. Round 3 played what did I play round 3? Round 3 I played against Millenniumon round 3.
That's my goat right there.
He kind of,
I hope he won too.
No, he didn't win. Game 1 he goes, Millennium combo, strip my hand, go into Mumaleni, blow up my dudes, leave me with nothing. And I somehow made the comeback off of a Asuna. He put me at like 5 memories, so I couldn't trigger the Asuna. And then I go into a Kaiser Leo into Lady Devi tucked the source, and then I did a full combo. He didn't see the.
I was about to say something's missing here.
I'm trying to remember.
He did all that, and he didn't win that game at least.
No, I'm trying to remember exactly what he was missing that prevented him from continuing. I think it was he didn't have the analog youths to choke me out that game. Game 2, though.
I mean, it's fine. He put you at 5 though because you don't activate the Asunas for free Gato play though.
Yeah, game 2.
Interesting.
I don't know what I did, but I hit 3 Chitoses out of life.
Oh Lord!
And that man was playing me like a fiddle. He was doing the option cards, drawing cards, cracking his guys, and I'm just raising up rune modes and trying to just prevent him from pushing out the little bodies. Didn't matter. He goes play, assemble, sits on a board of Moon Millenni, Good Millenni with the composite redirect with the Machine Dramon, and just the 3 Chitoses and 2 analog youths. And I'm like, if I kill anything, it's his turn. So that was that game. Game 3, it was super quick. I made him go first. He goes play Wicked Gods, the one that draws you cards. Wicked Gods Descent? I'm trying to remember which one. Which is the one that you play for 3 to draw 2 cards and trash 2 cards? Emerges. So he did that. And then I just set up the perfect line. I go Sparrowmon and Raising, play 3-cost Asuna, trash my Dare Blitz, draw 2 cards, draw into Lady Devi and Beelstar X, and I already have the dual card in my hand. And I'm like, okay, perfect. All I need to do is just draw into at least 2 red bind triggers, or at least bind them in life. He goes Raise Ghazi, swing at life, hits red bind trigger, and I'm like, okay, there's 1. And then I go my turn. And then he ended on trying to remember that card. He ended on a double emergent. Wicked God emerges. Sorry, I keep forgetting the names. He ends on 2 of those and puts me to 3. So he has all that. His graveyard is loaded. I'm like, okay, I got to kill him right here, right now. I go draw for my regular draw phase, raise up Sparrowmon, tuck the option underneath, draw into Scopemon Evo over him, tuck the Dare Blitz, gain the memory, and then I'm at 4 memory at that point, and then I go activate Asuna, trash a Sparrowmon, draw into the second red bind trigger, and I'm like, okay, this is looking good. Evo into Lady Devi, draw into the 3rd red bind trigger, and I'm like, oh, I can do my full combo right now. So at this point I'm at 1 memory. I go tap Asuna, trash Hurricane Screw Shot from my hand, Evo into Beelstar for 2, grab back the Hurricane Screw Shot, tap it, gain the memory back. I'm missing something here because I didn't pass my turn. I was at 0. Here. No, I imaged, so I saved the 1 memory. So I didn't use the Asuna effect. I do image, put myself to 0, go into the Lady Devi, into the Beelstar. Beelstar goes, activates red bind trigger, tuck it underneath, and then I go tap the Hurricane Screw Shot out of my sources, go into Beelstar X, activate the 2nd red bind trigger from my hand, activate 1 Digivolving, blow up his card. Blow up nothing, trash security, swing, trash security. And then that was it. It was a very close game because we were like 2 minutes into time at that point. So that was that round. Round 4, I played against Purple Hybrid. And it was very interesting. He played a lot of hate cards in his build. Like he was playing the Keenan. He was playing Digimon Emperor, and he was playing Emergency Shutdown Protocol program. So I was just like, okay. So game one he didn't see a Duskmon, so I quickly took the game just by chipping him down and then basically just swinging out my guys because I didn't see anything. Literally, I didn't see tamers or anything until he swung at my life and hit an image. So I was able to search and I grabbed a tamer out of that. That was game one. Game two, he found his full lineup, played as many of those Koichis as humanly possible, didn't see Keenan, saw Digimon Emperor, and I'm like, okay. So he goes swing. I had situated a Beelstar already on the board with a over a Black Automon, and I just kept chipping at his life with activating the red bind triggers from hand. He couldn't. I basically sniped 2 superior modes out of his life, and then he goes, okay, it's like swing. Swing when attacking Evo, mill 3 cards because I have the tamer and then the dual color on the board. He goes mill. He mills Lady Devi, Beelstar X, red bind trigger off the top of my deck. And he goes, okay, swing. I had a Sparrowmon on the board already, so I go block with the Beelstar. I'm like, it's gonna die anyway, so it has retaliation from the Gazimon. So he didn't get to activate his effect, but he was able to, just do like purple hybrid shenanigans, recur the bodies. And in my mind, I thought, okay, he may be paying Spirit Evolution, so he can probably game me next turn. He goes and plays Purple Memory Boost, puts me to 3. Gino, background noise. Sorry about that, buddy. So he puts me to 3. I draw into another Beelstar, but I already had the 4-cost Osman on the board. Gain my memory, do my shenanigan combos. It's very simple stuff. There's really no complexity to the deck, unfortunately. So I just do full combo, take him out, and then he asked me for tips on Purple Hybrid. I'm like, you should play Spirit Evolution and you should take out that Keenan because that Keenan did absolutely nothing for you. And he's like, what's Spirit Evolution? And he looks at it. He's like, this card exists this whole time. And I'm like, yo, that card's nice.
He ain't a true Purple Hybrid player. He don't know about that.
He's like, I'm going to test this.
I felt like I was the one that was teching that in the beginning for Purple Hybrid off rip.
Yeah, and I played it too because I was just like, ooh, I get to turn my mats into free swingers. Like, why not? That's great. And then round 5, I played into. I think this is the second round that I lost. I played into Medusamon, and in my mind, I'm like, I should probably have a favorable matchup into Medusamon. No, I was horribly mistaken. This dude was not seeing 4s this whole time. He was just hard slamming. What's it called? The BT, the newer Medusamon, the one that has the on play and it has rush and stuff like that. So he was just hard playing that, blowing up my bodies, playing tokens, tapping. What's his name? I keep forgetting his name.
Owen Dread.
Oh, he was playing Owen and then just swinging, blowing up my dudes, playing with my trash. Bottom decked 3 of my Beelstars, so I couldn't even. They were just all in the bottom of the deck. So I'm like, yeah, this is over. Game 2, a little bit more back and forth. I went first, so I set up my line. I was like, this is great. And then as I kept drawing through my deck, I saw a level 3, and then all 5 of my level 5s. And I'm just there staring at myself. I'm like, I can't do anything. Like, what am I going to do? Just on play, Scopemon, and pray to God he doesn't bounce me for whatever reason. So I was just sitting there like, okay, he Crimson Blazed me. He is just going into the old Lamiamon, not the warp one. So he just kept going straight into Medusamon this whole time. I have not seen one Styraco in that whole game. So I'm like, is this just Medusa Turbo? He's like, no, I play 3 Styracos. And I'm like, must be nice. Unfortunately lost against Medusa, bringing me to X2. And then the last run I played against Chaosmon. To put a little like preface on what's happening. Originally, they brought up the ruling that for Beelstar, whenever if Lady Debbie were to activate an option from trash, she can't tuck it underneath because she doesn't have the Three Musketeer trait. So I was like, oh, like we know that. So when we were playing our match, I go Lady Debbie, trash Hurricane Screw Shot, activate Fly Bullet, tuck a different card underneath. Arts first. No, tuck Arts, and then he goes, oh, you can't tuck the card underneath. I'm like why? And I'm like, it's the fucking, what's it called? The Beelstar's effect. He goes like, no, it's like they said you can't do it with Lady Debbie. And I'm like, they said I can't tuck the card underneath Lady Debbie because Lady Debbie's not a Three Musketeer. And he's just like staring at me, and I just feel like the static just building up in the match. And he's just like, oh, right, no, you're right. And I'm like, yeah. And like the judge was right behind me. Cedric was behind me. He was like, yeah, it's like he sequenced it the way it's supposed to be sequenced. It's like if he activated Hurricane Screw Shot from trash, you can't tuck it underneath. And he's like, oh, okay. And then from there, unfortunately, he didn't see the purple yellow Chaosmon at all. He kept seeing Balder Arms. At that point, it was just it was a pretty decent slow roll. He locked my board. I couldn't do on plays, but I was able to just evo up the line, trashing the Dare Blitz, devoing the stack because it wasn't immune by effects. Thank God, because that's the scariest part with that deck. And just sort of like contesting the board. So when I devoted it, I activate Fly Bullet, pop the stack. He didn't have any level of protection underneath it. He didn't have the, what's that card called? The Dartramon Ace. So he didn't have Scapegoat or anything to sort of protect anything else. So I was like, okay, great. Took game 1. Game 2, he was struggling to find a level 6. He saw Bancho Leomon way too late. I had already situated game on the board. He goes and activates. There is a Chaosmon card that prevents me from activating when Digivolving effects. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but he prevents one of my Beelstar stacks from Digivolving. So I'm like, okay. So I go into my regular lines of play, and then I create a whole new stack off of a Chimeramon. Basically go Kaiser Leo, raise up, play hard play a Black Gatomon, play out another Asuna from my hand because I used the one Asuna on the board, DNA, tuck underneath the Black Gatomon from trash, go into Beelstar for 3, activate Red Bind, trashing the security, swinging with it, putting back the 2 options from my sources back underneath it, drawing 2 cards, drawing to Beelstar X, activating the effect, detaching it, popping one of his bodies with the Red Bind trigger, going to Beelstar X, activating the second Red Bind trigger from my hand, and then I basically just put him in a game position. Overall, I felt like the run was a little bit better. Although I did feel like there's a lot of times where I was ending on a level 5 and not really having anything else. So just a quick little local recap. Yesterday I played locals and I started teching in the Beelstar Ace just as like a funky fresh combo. It came up a lot where I would end on a Scopemon and they'd be like, oh, they don't have anything. And I'm like, all right, cool. Eat this. So I play out the Beelstar and then I go, all right, cool. Activating like Dare Blitz and popping their bodies, or just activating a Hurricane Screw Shot from my hands and just clearing the whole board. And they're like, that's not funny. And I'm like, it wasn't meant to be funny. And I think I may keep that adjustment, although I do ultimately fear not seeing Scopemon. So I have to sort of adjust the ratios where if I do want to play the Ace, I have to play more Scopemons over Lady Debbie's just so it has the inherent protection where I don't automatically lose against the...
Wait, you talking about Satellarmon?
Satellar, yes, sorry. That's what I meant.
This guy.
Sorry, I kept saying Scopemon.
Saying Scopemon the whole time, like
Satellar.
Doesn't make no sense.
No, it was Satellar. Sorry. If I were to play the Ace more like frequently, it would have to be with the more Satellarmons.
You don't even have to be a 5. You could have Black Gato chilling on board, and you could Ace in
true.
2.
True. It's just sometimes I fear the de-evoing more than anything, just because of how like prevalent it is in the format. Sure. Between Minervamon for TS, between the Beelstar mirror match if they have access, if they just pitch Dare Blitz like nuts, and even then like Chaosmon's running around for whatever reason that it is, just so much de-evoing and just free spinning the board, I kind of fear ending my turn and then just, all right, cool, now it's your turn again. Have fun.
Yeah, it'd be like that. With that being said, I'm going to take a quick sponsor break. Our sponsor today is always DigiGuard. Get your TCG needs at DigiGuard.com from anything from binders to deck boxes, cool deck boxes too, and binders, by the way. Also sleeves, and you could get TCG bags. They don't have any in stock right now, but from my sources, they're gonna be bringing them back soon, hopefully. So we'll see when that comes around. Don't forget, in the link below, there's gonna be a code for you to use from DGU for 15% off on all your TCG needs through DigiGuard. So use that link. It also helps us with the kickback as well. So yeah, go buy your stuff at DigiGuard. Anyways, back to the pod for the new topic at hand. Gino is quite quiet over there. I know why, but all jokes aside. We've been playing BT25. Obviously, Gino said he is undefeated in BT25 in tournament play. That last local shooter happened with him winning it, but it's all right.
I didn't say I was undefeated in tournament play. I said that I haven't lost a tournament, okay? I've dropped games, and I've even lost a round.
Yeah, you're extremely loud right now. I don't know why.
I don't know why my mic is so loud, but
yeah.
Let's
just pick up everything in the background.
Another couple clicks.
Anyways,
that woke me up more than the coffee. Not gonna lie to you. I was like, oh
yeah. So we're in BT25. We haven't talked much about our thoughts on it. Lewis and Gino, we'll give Gino the first run real quick. What's your thoughts on BT25 so far right now?
Well, like I said at the start of the pod, I've been loving BT25. I really like all of the new TS decks. I like how they're not like Homeros heavy. Like you can just kind of, they're actually now all Dan and Cannon heavy. So if the previous set was like all Homeros heavy, this set's all Dan and Cannon heavy, as evidenced by the new $20 base rarity Dan and Cannons. But I'm a big fan of all of these new decks. I've been having a lot of fun with Bacchus Ceres. I think there's a lot of really good like the meta is fast, the game is really fast, but every deck I pick up I'm having a ton of fun with. I blazed through locals last night with Rebootmon, or 2 nights ago with Rebootmon, and that was a blast. Like every deck I pick up, it feels like gold in my hands. Like it's just doing everything that it wants to, that I want it to do. And it's just, I've been having so much fun. Even the fun decks I've been having a great time with, like Data Squad. Like Data Squad ain't it right now, Chief, but I've been having a blast with it. From like a competitive standpoint, Beelstar is very strong, potentially a problem, potentially needs a hit, but I personally haven't had any trouble into it. And like Volcanismon, sleeper deck, like any deck that can kill you from 4 with only a tamer on the field is insane. Like everybody I think is like pretty mad with how fast the game is, but I've been having a ball. I think it's just playing around everything and like learning how all these things are going to interact, and I don't know, I've been having a blast with BT25. What about you guys? We'll get to the bad side of BT25, but Lewis, what do you think?
I honestly like BT25. Like Gino mentioned, there's it feels less Homeros.deck and TS slop. Now there's a lot like more constructed buildings around like those TS decks now. Volcanus is really cool, really annoying, honestly. It's a very annoying deck to play into if you haven't already seen what it does. But the fact that it has like all these plays just off 7, just dropping 7, and you can just swing out to the gates is such a really cool thing. As much as I hate losing to Jupitermon, the few times that I have, it's still really good seeing that it has more access to the different levels of AGO choose. The blue being able to unsuspend, also D-Evo, which is something that the deck suffered with if it didn't play Minervamon or doesn't want to play Minervamon. And then you had the blue-green for the few of them that do play them. Like, I think it's really great that there's now a layer of Tamer hate outside of Venusmon. Venusmon being one of the absolute emotionally jarring cards against Beelstar in general. Venus just being, oh yeah, cool, stun. Can't do anything over here. You can't tap your tamers. All right, here's 7 memory. Have fun. And you're like, all right, cool, fly bullet. Okay, I'm gonna just put this little guy over here back into the life. All right,
yeah,
cool.
then you just
all right,
fly bullet again. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I mean, if you had the second fly bullet, great.
Easy, isn't trash. You just evo.
Oh
for
yeah,
free,
yeah,
like,
yeah. I wish sometimes.
About over there?
I mean, wish that sometimes it's that
broken.
easy. Yeah, I mean,
that
really
sounds like
is.
a skill issue.
It is a skill issue. I'm whack. I see Jupitermon. I'm like, seeing that is cool. Glowing Dawn being one of a very strong 2 starter deck, maybe 12 supplementary cards from the core set is such a great.
It's 12. Oh, you saying
it's 12. like
the play set of it.
Yeah. Like the 4 Monarch Lizardmon, the 4 Habakiri, and like the 4 Geckomons that are inside the set. I think that is excellent because it's been a while since we've seen a very strong starter deck. I think the last 2 very strong starter decks were Sakuyamon and Beelzemon, in my opinion.
Did we just forget about Venture?
I don't see it that often, so.
That must be why. Venture's kind of cracked.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Regionals.
Yeah, I mean, more power to them when they win. But I haven't really seen. Like a lot of Adventure running around. I've seen people play Adventure, but I haven't seen them win with Adventure. So that's probably like the 2 different scopes of whether that deck being good or not. It probably is wrong. I'm wrong. It's a very strong deck. But, all these other random decks that have come out that just like supported basically nothing. Glowing Dawn is definitely be one of the stronger ones. Data Squad, hopefully when the Mirage Galgamon dual card comes out, it'll bring a different layer to the deck. I do like the whole...
backtrack. Hold up. That burst mode?
Okay. Outside of burst mode. Not
burst mode. I'm sorry. Rosemont burst mode. The reveal we got today?
Oh yeah,
that card reads crazy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be playing Sunflowers again soon.
Oh please,
so
give me a reason. Give me a reason to re-sleeve my Bloomlord deck.
If that Data Squad support in BT26 is just as good as that, ooh, we might be having a different language. It might be a lot different than what it is right now when it comes to Data Squad, but that card itself has potential for sure.
Yeah, then it'll just be Glowing Dawn, Data Squad, Beelstar if it survives some sort of impending doom coming up. And I don't think there's another unfair deck. I still do think not to high praise you, Dan, but I do still think Millennium Mon is still one of the craziest decks behind like a great pilot. Like it just does everything that every deck hates. Blowing up my tamers, controlling my hand. It's a lot. And I'm just there staring at it like I'm useless. And then you stack my deck too. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I guess I'm just not playing the next 4 cards I draw if they're actually useless. So, or 5 cards if they find the other numbers. And I really like 25. I like Beelstar. I like Beelzemon, so it kind of goes hand in hand, even though they're 2 completely different decks, but they follow the same pew pew purple card with a gun on it.
For sure.
And TS got a different layer of playing. And I really like the fact that the 4-drop Asana is so universal to the deck, but it really is dependent, like Gino mentioned earlier, with that one Volcanus player playing the Asanas. There's a right way to play it, then there's a questionable way to play it. And that's sort of my take on 25. I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely enjoying it from the pseudo 8001 format, and that definitely more than the 24 format.
You bring up a pretty good point as far as starter deck goes. Real quick before Dan goes off on his 25, the last bad starter deck we had was like Dragon of Courage and Wolf of Friendship. Like every
that's what I was thinking. To the Aces,
has been like pretty good because we've had the bunnies. And then the 2 Liberator decks, which weren't great at launch, but obviously got to be some of the best decks in their respective formats.
Puppets.
Able, I guess, with the one. And then, we had Adventure. The Sakuya deck was good for a little bit. And now
I would say if you're going straight out of the box, though, like how we're doing with Deep Break, the Liberators were ass. by
Right.
themselves.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Like if you even
Absolutely.
you're comparing it with what set was that, EX7 for the first Liberator set,
Yeah.
or EX6? EX6
It
was
was
Demons. Yeah,
7.
EX7.
It was 7.
So
7
even
Liberator
then,
was the
so
first
like,
one.
yeah, so even then, like the stuff from from Vortex, that was kind of ass at that point. Like Vortex was not a good deck until let's rephrase. Savaga was not a good deck until Vortex came out, right? And even with the Medieval, it still just didn't hit. And the Ace kind of helped it, but like you saw that deck being good with a mix of other stuff, like the Venture Green stuff. Like that was a deck, right?
Yeah, it was.
And obviously Medieval was a good card, just generically good for any deck. Like it just felt like throwing it in and whatnot. And then Puppets was like okay. And then when Kuguya came out, it got better. But like out of the box, not really just yet. But like I mentioned before, for Glowing Dawn, right? It's a tier 1 deck right out of the box with 4 cards in from that you need from BT25, which is kind of crazy when you think of it like that. And this is the start of B Break. This is not like the end or like mid of B Break. We're gonna have B Break probably for the next 2 years, I would guess. From now to probably 2028 at least. Definitely throughout 2027, we're definitely gonna have all B Break in sets and stuff. So look out for that. Especially going to be a variety of B Break decks, I would assume as well.
Move over TS. This is my new best friend.
Yeah, exactly. That's expected though, because anime is out and it's new. That's the new hot thing for Digimon is the anime in comparison.
Which thank God we got. Which thank God we got a brand new media for it. Like Time Stranger helped a lot to bring it back a brand new, fresh thing to the game, because there was only so many times that they could reprint Omnimon and Metal Garurumon and War Greymon.
The problem is when you do it over and over, but you have so many other things you can like grab from. Like there's so many different games they can like get different mechanics out of. They really truly want to. They just haven't gotten there yet. So they kind of like go over Omnimon because they know Omnimon is the go, and like, you know, people complain about BT20, not BT26, EX. What's the next one? EX12, right? The Shambhala says EX12.
Yeah.
People complaining that Omnimon being in the Senate feed being forced. That's actually not being forced. Omnimon is a Machine Empire / Virus Buster card / NSO that they didn't give him NSO for whatever reason. That would have been great for NSO, but
no, they knew what they were doing. No, they knew what they were doing.
They should have been.
They knew
NSO
exactly
too.
what they. They knew exactly what they were doing. They saw a tamer for NSO. They were like, "We're not allowing Omnimon to splash us into any deck."
But yeah,
you're lucky.
So
you guys are all lucky. They didn't make Omnimon an SO trait. Me and Raina had to go crazy.
Oh
Facts.
God, never.
I think it's good the way they've been doing things, and it makes sense the way they've been doing the sets. Honestly, one day we'll have a Digimon World 2 set where we're gonna have a Beetle as a card or something like that, and that would be exciting when that time comes. But anyways, my BT25 thoughts is gonna be more on the opposite side of these guys. I think it's a fine set. I think it's a good set for anyone who enjoys it. Me personally, that's where I'm at on it. The only deck I really cared about was Shine going into it and playing it. Titamon, I was also very excited for, and Titamon is just a very weird situation where Titamon itself is broken. Like that card is just nuts. The problem is everything else that's supporting it wasn't much in this set. I thought the Witchmon would be a lot better in paper than it is in practice, and it's just kind of like a whatever card. And then like the other Titans don't really do anything per se outside of few, unless you want to switch the Titan style gameplay. What I mean by that is that you have the Black Titans of the Raremon and Dragomon, and then you have what else? The Orochimon, and then the Deltamons. They really don't do much. Orochimon you can use as current Titanmons because you can kind of board swarm like the way the deck already kind of does, but it's just kind of like whatever. And then the Doraemon is cool, but at the same time it's like, all right, if they just pop your stack, you don't care about it. And so it becomes it's a weird spot. Mind you, if you're able to do the pop off and you could do crazy, you're gonna do a lot of things, but it's just very hard for the way the deck is right now. to like do well, I guess you could say, in a tournament setting, in my opinion. I'm still tinkering with it, see if it does anything, but at the same time, like I kind of know it's not. That PT26 Plutomon better be broken because it definitely needs it. If you ever get the combo of Asuna plus, you know, a Mem Setter, and then you have the Sculpalucci, oh, you're going nuts, right?
It's gonna go crazy.
You play out one of the Ogre Brothers, you trash the OG Sculpalucci, Evo to Sculpalucci effect, trash something, effect, you Evo into that Titamon, and then you snap back the memory, right? And then you continue doing your plays and whatnot. Like, if you get that combo, it's crazy. The problem is a lot of setup to get there. And it's a one-of Sculpalucci, and you need to have Asuna already on play. You need to have Matt or whatever Mem Setter you have in play. So it's very hard to get that combo. But if you're able to, it's good. But it's really rare.
You know, like Titamon kind of feels like Jessmon in a way. Like it's a 3-check deck, and then you just get answered next turn, and then it's like you better have it. And if you don't, like, you're kind of cooked.
No, for sure, definitely in that aspect. And for me, the other decks, I don't really care enough to play. Again, for those people who like you know, the vegetable stuff, the plant decks.
I was just about to bring that up.
TS Gear Forest is a good deck if you like that, but like me personally, I never really cared about that deck. Mind you, it's a playstyle I would play. Like I love Swarm decks. Like I played a lot of Swarm decks. It's just not what I care about, I guess, for a reason. And also, it's just like not that good. At the same time, like you have to mix it with like Bloom to make it like pop off, because like your pop off is good, but it's not good enough, if that makes sense, which is very weird because that deck is crazy wild. You get protection, you get them in the Bacchus and Saris loop, not loop, but like that lock kind of, and it's just very hard to deal with it. But if you just go raise rookie, swing, force the Saris to activate, and then you pop off, you're just good. Like it doesn't matter what they have anymore. In that aspect, it's very weird.
I like it. The deck is really cool. I mean, I saw Cliff pilot it on Sunday, and he was doing pretty well. And then he ran into the red hybrid player that just didn't care about anything that he did. Right. Gave him the world in memory, and then, you know, in a hybrid deck where apparently it's very strong, he's just like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna turn this card sideways. Okay, you blow it up, great. And like you said, the crackback was insane. He just goes, okay, Evo into Aldemon. Go straight, just do the whole Aldemon BS combo, and then he's like, all right, cool, now I got game. And apparently the red hybrid player he played against was also playing the purple-red fighter mode also, so it sort of checked them too there, and I'm just there looking at it like what's happening? No. Like, oh no, but
it's so hard to get the Bacchus Saris lock on the same turn, and to do so, you usually have to spend a lot of memory to do it.
And efficiently, yep.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
The biggest problem with the TS version of the deck is that it's so memory inefficient, and that's why you have to run the Bloom stuff. And then you end up running like into the problem where it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna play Lalamon, who doesn't search any of the TS cards, or like if you play the Palmon Searcher, doesn't search any of the TS cards unless they specifically say vegetation in a little box next to them.
Doesn't Kiwimon search for them?
Floramon searches.
No, Flora.
A vegetable.
Yeah, Flora's fantastic.
Oh, okay.
That's your new best searcher. But if you decide that you're gonna play Bloom, it doesn't find fairies, and Bloom is a fairy. So like,
correct.
It's a weird spot, right? We're gonna get a new Bloom Lord soon. All right, let's not.
Yeah.
Maybe at one point we'll be able to play cards that are newer than BT10 in that deck.
Absolutely not. And guess what? They're gonna mess the deck up, and they're gonna make that Bloom Lord blue yellow, and then you're gonna stare at it like, this isn't my Bloom Lord. Like, what's going on here?
Let's get this guy off the podcast.
green and yellow, something like that. It'll probably be.
I mean,
you'll probably be faster green and yellow or something like that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it'll be funny if they just mess up the color pairing for it, and then just mess up the whole search engine for the deck. But you know, I'm a big fan of Green Ranger. I did have that one top 16 with it at what was it? Top deck? The one in Jersey. Gotcha. Where I played it with Zafaga and friends.
And yeah, and then the other deck that I cared about is bears, and bears don't like me. Straight up. Like, I'm playing the deck. I enjoy the deck. It's like, you know, it's not really a complicated deck at all. Like, it's really not. Especially like the decks I play, like Millennium on or like Purple Hyper or something like that. But it's fun. I thought I liked the concept of it when it first came out. Callus is broken. Let me rephrase. It's not broken, but it's a very strong card. The issue for me is, for some reason, I get stuck with 3 cards in my hands at all time. It is a rookie, sometimes a champion, Dan and Cannon. And those are the only 3 cards I ever see in my hands. And I just take too long to get into like Callus or Marsmon or something like that. And then like usually I lose because I'll get the clapback, but I'm just so far behind it doesn't matter.
They'll just out the body and call it a day.
I don't know. The deck just not F for me at all. And I finally got my what's called the option for Glow and Dawn, so I'll probably start building that. Check that out. I know there's a more of an OTK style deck, which I'm all about. Thanks. And so I'll probably start putting that together. But like, yeah, I just didn't care about much of the other decks. I do want to one day build Jupiter. I just don't have. Not that I don't have the time, I just haven't had the chance to sit down and like deck build. Maybe because I have my invite and I'm just not really like, I'll just wait for locals and then play. And then locals comes around, I'm like, oh no, what deck am I gonna play? I guess I'll just play Machine Jamon. And that's what happened. I played my top 16, whatever, top 8 Machine Jamon deck list without any changes since then. And honestly, it did pretty well. Like, it could compete in today's game. Can it go turn 2? No, not really. But if someone turns to you, it is what it is. You weren't going to do anything about it regardless.
Just wait until the new support.
That's why I played it, because the new support is cracked and I can't wait. So I was like, let me play Machine Jamon now. And right now I'm in the phase where I'm just going to play probably like all old decks until the next set comes out. I am so hyped for EX12. That set started for me as a I'll buy it because I'm gonna buy Digimon regardless. And then, you know, I'll figure out what I'm gonna play. And like, I knew it was gonna have what it was gonna have, but I wasn't as hyped. But by the end, with all the reviews, I'm like, this is the greatest set this year. Like, I am so hyped for this. This is like so good. Melt Empire sounds cracked. Virus Buster sounds good. NSO got good stuff. Deep Savers got some good stuff in my opinion. Will it be good? Will it be so much more improved? I don't know. NSP is looking kind of cool with Angora in it now. What else? The Shambhala stuff, those decks look cool. What's it called? The red black one is cracked with the engage. There's like 5 different keywords. Like, that boy's cracked as hell.
That's my homie. He's cool as
hell.
hell.
Facts.
Wheels on his feet.
Nezhamon, I think it's called, right?
Yeah, Nezhamon, I think.
Yeah, Nezha.
And I'm just so hyped for that set. So I'm super excited when that comes out. So like, I'm just on a EX12 waiting room right now for me. But that's how I feel. That's why I'm on it right now. I'm excited for future reveals for like BT26. Can't wait for that. And then whatever else is moving forward, we kind of know it's gonna be a lot of X antibody stuff. So if people didn't like X antibody stuff, pack your bags. You better truck in. You gonna enjoy it one way or other because they're gonna force it down. Man. And Maimon, Maimon meta is gonna be real.
Hey man, yeah. That's lore accurate. They didn't want the X antibody. They had to have it put on them so that they could survive. So
I'm just not looking forward to.
But
I'm definitely not looking forward to another X antibody format. That was the one format that I think I did not like because everybody and their grandmother was on Alphamon. And I'm just there sitting there like, I'm trying to have fun. Oh, I'm dead already. All right, cool. Yep. Yeah, awesome. Great. Cool. Breath of the Gods, call it a day.
But the one thing that I know people have been very mad about that Gino mentioned before that wanted to get the top gone. What do we think about how fast this game has gone? What do we think about these decks that are considered like super broken? Beelstar in mind. Do we think these decks are, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Okay to be running around the way they are. Like, Beat Break has the potential of turn 2. Beelstar has the potential of turn 2. You have TS Angels. That's what is supposed to do. Not supposed to, but like that's what it's turned into, a very turn 2 deck. We have other decks that had turn 3 Volcanus. I think Volcanus is a very strong deck. As a sleeper deck we mentioned before, I think it's easily like maybe not tier 1, but like it's right underneath it where you can take that deck and compete with it. If you're not turn 2 and you could turn 3 a lot with decks, Shine has a potential to turn 2 someone if you high roll like crazy. We have a lot of these turn 2 potential decks, more than we did in like BT23 with Hootie being running around. What do we think? Do we think that's okay for the game? What do we think about this new style game we're in right now?
Well, I think turn 2 is just too fast. The game is very, very fast right now. The thing with, like, let's just say Volcanus. In order for you to turn 2, your opponent needs to have played into your game plan. You cannot turn 2 with Volcanus if they don't put a body on the board, for example. Like, that feels okay. Like, yeah, the deck is strong, and if you open the most cracked 5 cards in your deck and then draw into the 2 cards you need to do the turn 2, great. But like, your opponent can take a look at your board state and go, oh, this is Volcanusmon, I just won't play a body right now just in case. Like, when it comes to something like Angels, you also have some counterplay. Oh, they went Asuna, pitch Pegasus, draw 2, I'll give them 5. Now what? Can they still do it? I think they're going to be short now because they can't. Like, the problem becomes when turn 2 is unavoidable, and I don't think any of the decks right now are doing it consistently, or if they are, it's because you're playing into them. Is the game fast right now? Yes. Could we use some hits? Nyaromon, you gotta go, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, I think there are some cards that we could talk about potentially hitting. Glowing Dawn right now is a very interesting like situation because it is extraordinarily strong, and they just printed all these cards. Like, there's no way they're hitting anything on Glowing Dawn. Like, I don't know if there's that many decks that can play around Glowing Dawn turn 2ing you, honestly. Like,
you can, as long as they go rookie in the back, they drop a Tamer, or no, let me rephrase. If they drop E-Pulse, like, and they draw like a god, like, there's nothing you could do about that.
Yeah, honestly, like, and I think Glowing Dawn is most potentially the most problem deck right now. But it's how consistently can they do it, right? That's the big question. If they're doing it very consistently, then it's a problem. And I think there are pilots who can, or deck builders and pilots who can, and that might be a problem. I don't know what the answer is. But in conclusion, Gino's thoughts, the game is a little too fast, but I don't think it's like a super big problem.
For myself, I played Hootie like consistently when it was considered the best deck right before TS came out, and even playing it, I felt like the deck was very, very, very unfair. Just being able to just play out Chitose, go into DNAing into Shakomon, Hootiemon doing shenanigans, bouncing Tamers, just picking up my cards and playing solitaire with myself. That became very uninteractable, and especially with cards like the CS Anjumon that gave you barrier, like, I wasn't afraid of dying. So it became very, 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 polarizing when the opponent would just stare at my board and they see double Tamer, rookie in the raising. No, sorry. Double Tamer, Anjumon and raising. And then they're just like, okay, what do I do from here? I'm like, oh, I'm just going to put this guy under here, get some memory, go into Hootiemon, proceed to just swag on you because I just had a CS on the board. So I was able to gain the memory off my memory efficient Tamers. That was problematic. And when they hit the Shakomon, the deck was still, running around a little bit with like the what's it called? The Sylphimon that the TS Tamers have, because it just fell under the same color requirements for CS, but it just wasn't efficient because of the lack of searching for it, because all your cards search for CS, not TS. So you had to really figure out what you wanted to take your losses on at that point, or play memory cards. And half the deck is unsearchable with some of those color combinations. So the deck became harder to play and eventually phased out. It's sitting on my binder right now, just waiting for a lick of CS support to come out. And maybe I can play it again, but they're obviously not going to give a card the same broken effect as that Chacomon to just split out a body while it's on the board or as an inheritable. Like that part was just nuts to me. And you just keep just DNAing, make the stack as tall as your opponent's board. In the respect of
for
Beelstar.
Hewdy?
For Hewdy, yeah, because you just make your stack so large because you would just
but
go into
Shaq
that.
wasn't the one that was spitting the bodies out.
I mean, on
that was only
on
the
kill.
all turns effect.
Right,
yeah,
but
saying
like
it died.
Well, if it somehow died in battle, you barrier, you trigger the effect,
Sure.
spit the body out, barrier. So it just became very hard to like want to
you never
contact
gonna
the
do
board.
that. You always go CS rookie and tuck it back underneath anyways.
Yeah, but it really depended on what was actually happening. And then when DigiLab came out, like it didn't really, it was okay. It didn't really do much for the deck. Yeah. And then in respect to Beelstar being in the format again-ish, Redbind Trigger is honestly an unfair card. There was no interaction with the card. You really can't do anything unless you're playing like, what is that, Kongu? Kongu prevents security from being stripped by effect or added. Something like that. Is it added or is it being removed? I'm trying to remember.
Both.
Congo's just security being added, and it also 7 cost or less can't swing.
Okay. So I'm misthinking it. But the fact that Redbind Trigger, there's no real card that stops you from losing security based on effect. So if, Beelstar keeps going along in the format without it being contested in some way, obviously Redbind Trigger has to be hit, and that forces the Beelstar players to sort of switch gears with the deck. If they want to continue playing the deck, they would have to play the bad red option, the triangular shot or something like that.
Chaos Triangular. That has
there we go.
Art. I love that art.
Yeah, they would have to play Chaos Triangular, and they'd have to lean into like heavy Beelstar X to even activate her effect. You just won't be flashing the Redbind Trigger from your hand to activate. You just have to be activating options just willy-nilly and praying that it doesn't trigger some sort of on deletion effect from your opponent or some alt turns. Oh, you touched my card. All right, now this gets shoved underneath something else. So Beelstar, I believe, is problematic, but is it considered a deck that's really hard to play against? Not really, because your opponent's at the whim of opening up a great hand, multiple tamers, or praying to God that they don't just draw into level 5s and no other options to play. Even with the Black Automon running around, like, there's ways to prevent them from activating the Asana. There's ways to stop them from suspending the tamer. So there's a little bit of that, but it's just Redbind Trigger just being, okay, I dual fly bullet, activate what's it called? Redbind Trigger from hand, and then go into Beelstar X, activate it again, and then activate it again, then activate it again. Like 4 uninterrupted checks into an attack is kind of crazy.
Will Beelstar is being playable if they hit Bind Red Trigger?
It will still be playable. It will just have to be considered more of like a 3 Musketeers deck as opposed to attempt at an OTK. Like you would have to sit on like a rune mode. You would have to like rune mode lock people, put them into critical by putting them to 1 life, and then hopefully you can hit them with like a play on your turn. The Asana being the enabler for the deck doesn't make Beelstar X like unusable. You can still just bring it back from trash, evo it over the Black Automon, evo it over your level 5. So the deck is still highly viable, but it just won't be as like uninteractive as it is right now. And then Angels is just Angels. Like if you, like Gino said, if you play into it and you give them the necessary resources or the lack thereof so they can trigger their tamer effects, it becomes a pretty different game. And you're just sitting there like, okay, what's their top end going to be? Is it going to be Junomon? Is it going to be that one psychopath that's playing Magna X? Like, we don't know what. Yeah, I mean, Magna X swinging twice and being immune, pretty nice. Niaramon Egg, I hate you with a passion. Oh, I don't. Oh yeah, you haven't taken a life from me. Cool. Let me take my own life. All right, I'm gonna restand gain in memory. Have fun.
Yeah, but then you're trashing the Angemon, and then that Angemon's gonna allow you to play a champion, and then you're gonna keep.
Yeah, and then we do it all over again, baby.
Listen, on Sunday, I played against an Angels player and I was playing Bacchus Ceres Bloom. And all I had to do was put Pomumon on the board and I won. That's it. There was nothing he could do. Bacchus and Pomumon completely shut down the deck. So like there are ways to play around the deck.
Yeah.
It's just problem though. Like
the problem is though, ain't no one playing that card Pomumon besides, you know, TS Green, Gear Forest. Not many decks have access to a floodgate that says you can't play Digimon by effects. And so
let me be a red deck.
Even if they do, yes, you can go red. But like if you're playing what's it called, like Styraco, are you really gonna find space for that? You're probably not, and you're not gonna do that.
No, I'm aiming to kill.
Sure, if you're red hybrid, sure, that's just because you naturally have that ability to fit that. But not many decks are going to purposely find space for those, especially in today's game. And so it makes it a little harder for people to deal with it. That's why, you know, I find Crimson Blaze is a different story. But like that's why you see those Crimson Blazes more frequently, is because of that situation.
Yeah.
But I think the bind red trigger plus the Niaromon egg got to go eventually. I'm sure we're going to get a ban list in September, August, September. That's usually the time we get it. But the problem is, right, here is the issue. You take those two out, you lower those power seals of those, but then now Beat Break is like still up here, and then you're gonna have everybody trying to combat Beat Break. And yeah, there's a lot of strong decks, and we're gonna get a lot more stronger decks, but that's still gonna be an issue. So it depends on how they go about this. Like, do they even touch something in Beat Break that I don't see that happening, because it's too new. You gotta sell product, you gotta do all that. They're not gonna do that. So like, best bet is like they touch the Niaromon egg, they touch the Bond Red trigger. The question becomes, what else do they do with that when the time comes? Because usually the August September ban list is usually bigger than the February March ban list. And so I'm curious to see what they will do when that time comes. If they try to take things out that, you know, we don't expect, I don't know. We'll see when that time comes around. They're probably gonna ban some random old purple card that is gonna get abused.
hey, they're gonna hit Pandemonium Flame.
Yeah, right, because that makes sense.
The thing is, like, one of the reasons why Beelstar is doing so good, yeah, it has the super annoying burn 5 security thing, but it also has a fantastic matchup into Beat Break. With Beat Break's biggest enemy gone, like, Beat Break just runs the format.
Yeah, I think beating so breaks. That's gonna be the issue.
It'll definitely be beating breaks at that point.
I mean, like, the other thing is the other decks that we didn't even mention, right? That has potential like that. Shine Greymon is crazy in a sense. Like, if you find your pieces, you just win. It doesn't matter who you're playing against. And that's where we're at with a lot of these decks. Like, even the decks that aren't like considered the top tier play is about like, do I see my pieces? Do I just win here? Yes, no, maybe so. And then you just go from there. And like, you just don't care sometimes what your opponent has on board, because you just deal with it, or you just get around it. And that's kind of the issue with Vortex, right? Because the Vortex wants you to deal with it, but like, if they just don't care about it, like, it doesn't matter that Vortex is on board. Cool, we got dual cards. GG's, let's get rid of it, call it a day, and those are all free. And so we're in a weird spot when it comes to B225, I think, because of that extra speed that we have in these decks. It's going to be interesting to see when time comes around in the future, what they do with these decks. I think Beelstar is, I'm not going to say it's unfair, but it is more on the broken side because of the Bond Red trigger, right?
It's unfun.
I see people who aren't good with the deck win because they saw the Bond Red trigger and they just read the cards, right? So I don't know. It's very weird. And then Beat Break, again, don't know what they're gonna do with it. And then TS Angels, Niaromon Egg. Niaromon Egg needs to get hit because of Puppets, and Puppets is still a strong ass deck. Hey, don't get it twisted. We didn't mention those three decks. We didn't mention the problem decks that we had in issues the last format, right? When it comes to decks like Millenniumon that people don't like, all the Liberated decks, those are still problematic decks. don't get it twisted, because the moment they touch those decks specifically, those just get bounced back up because now it doesn't matter. All right, cool. Beelstar lost that power. Guess what? Styraco comes back because Styraco issue is Beelstar build, right? And then TS puppets, not TS puppets, regular puppets, they will just get stronger again. But then you also have Millenniumon that's like, hey, the speed ain't as fast. Great, I can spend my one extra turn and now I just lose, take 10 minutes and win, right? So it's all very dependent on what they do. But I'm probably one of those outliers. I don't mind the speed. I don't mind watching a good player know how to pilot a deck and win. like watching. I don't know what it's like playing against me because I'm the one that's usually playing melee. But imagine watching a good melee player like pop off and they win when your opponent is at 5 security and they just loop and win. Like, I know it must suck to watch, but like as the player, that's some like good shit right there, right? Like you feel good, like, yo, I just did this combo, this is crazy. Maybe that's because like the Yu-Gi-Oh mindset, like the Yu-Gi-Oh background of like, hey, I'm gonna take this 10-minute combo, do this cool shit, and I'm gonna watch you try like break the puzzle, right? I'm creating this puzzle, I'm trying to win, and like in that aspect. So like I watched TS Angels, and he might not turn 2 or turn 3 killed me, but in my head I was doing the combo. I was like, I know what he could have done to kill me, and that makes me want to play TS Angels. I ain't gonna lie, because you could do a lot of cool things, and like I love combo decks like that where you free flow. You kind of know what your main combo is, and then depending on what your hand is or whatever your play is, you free flow and you get to that point of A to B and call it a day. Again, not many people like that. They don't like the solitaire aspect of that, but you know. And I hate being against it, but like at the same time, I don't know. It's impressive when someone does it and you don't think they have it, and they're just like, all right, cool, I got him, pop off and just win. But that's just, I know I know for a fact I'm in the minority of it, and I'm okay with that because I understand, you know, people want to play the game, but hey, we're in a tournament. I'm trying to win.
It's Gino with Volcanus all over again.
So, two quick questions. One, is Medusamon still a problem in the current format? And two, if you had to hit a card off of Millenniumon, what card do you hit to not murder the deck?
I'll answer the Millenniumon one because it's going to be wrong.
I know what you hit, but let me hear what Lewis says. I think Medusa's still a problem. Like let's not get it twisted. The problem got checked with more of a problem. And so with that aspect, and it's not even like fully checked because we had a Medusamon deck win EU regional, like a full 300 plus regional. That they just won one. Let's not get it twisted like the deck is dead. The deck is not dead. It just so happens that B break goes, I can Digivolve as I OTK. And same with Beelstar. They have the ability to Digivolve in mid combo and they could just like pop off. But Medusa 100%, like that Lamia need to go. Like it's just so dumb.
Let me just Evo and just take a life, and now I'm gonna become Medusamon. Have fun.
Mind you, I just raised a rookie. I tucked the Dimetro on the knee. We Evo to Lamia. Oh, great. We're going to gain 2 memory, and it's only for 1. Swing out, progress, pop off, you know. Fun times.
Aye.
You don't even Lewis. Rookie. You just go scramble. Since your Medusa has
that too, if you had it, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that too, yeah. Yeah. Lewis, what do you think? What card needs to get hit in Millie?
For me, it's definitely the BT. What is it? 21? BT 20?
Okay.
The BT 20 Millenniumon, the one that plays with the one that touches the cards in my graveyard, gains you memory, and if for some godforsaken reason it dies, that card is nuts. Play it out again. Just have a ye old grand time. Any card that manipulates what I can draw, gains you a resource, and also puts me in a weird position while you still have security attack +1 if you assemble. Well, when you assemble and or sorry, not assemble, when you DNA off of the Machine Dramon popping the Millennium Mod or vice versa, anything like that, it's kind of nuts. And if you somehow become so memory efficient that you keep your turn, you're checking me for 2, and then you're going to be activating your Wicked Gods Hoopla, and then going into Moon Millennium, and then again putting me into even a more position. Hey, I just lost cards, and I know that there's a level 6 I'm about to draw that ain't doing shit for me.
Yeah, I mean that's a good choice. Realistically, if you kill promo, deck is dead.
Yeah,
like,
that too.
If you take out promo,
nah.
What it gonna realistically hit? It's either probably BT21 milli or
BT19, right? BT19 milli.
19, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
What do you mean, whatever it is? It's your baby.
I don't remember the number.
I don't care about the number. I don't care about my baby.
It's probably realistic. If they were to, it would be probably that, because you stop the actual loop happening. But if you have like 3 analog use on board, you can loop it anyways, right? You go back to promo, you just swing out anyway. So like the promo is really the problematic card in that deck, but they probably won't hit it because it's too new. Yeah. If they were to hit Millie, I don't think they will hit Millie. The problem with Millie is that if you speed up everybody else but Millie kind of falls behind, because you have to wait turn 3 usually. Like can you turn 2 someone promo Millie? Sure, but like you're not doing much with it. So like it's really like turn 3 pop off and win. That's the goal, at least minimum, and that's with you drawing everything that you need. Millie's also like a counter check to like the more problematic decks. Like I feel like kind of, but I know people hate Millie, so you know.
It's a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I think it's cool. But when they do full combo on me and gain memory and stack my graveyard and kill my tamers and control my hand, maybe I have a problem with it. But shout outs to Moon and shout out to Z Millennium Mon. Z Millennium Mon, I barely see you.
Oh, that's because you didn't play against me and you're not getting OTK. Turn 3 out of 5 security with Z.
Yeah.
That's why. But
overclock.
Hey, if they drop a TS Millennium on, we can ban the other one. I don't care. As long as I got a second milli. That's what I need.
Okay, on a different note, Gino.
The deck doesn't function without a second milli.
Let me get another Millennium on. Oh, baby. It's still composite.
Look, it's very possible. It's still very possible. You never know.
Dan not knowing what set Millennium Mon comes from is like being like, I don't know how old my son is.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like I think he's in college, maybe.
He's somewhere
just maybe
there,
he's over there. Maybe I think it's him over there.
I'm pretty 19. Sure it's 20, is it not, or is it 19?
It came in the dual set.
I'm pretty sure it's 19.
Yeah, it came in the dual set, so it's 20. It's 19 or 20.
Place your bets.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now. I'll pull it up. It is. Hold on. Oh no, he's red. Yeah, no, we're both wrong. It's 18.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Because I was the 18 to 20 merge set.
I don't need to know how old my son is. You need to know how old your son is.
I'm fine. But yeah, no, I mean, it would be that probably if they were to hit it. But it will still keep the deck alive because promo Millie is the most broken thing ever. But we'll see when that time comes around. It should be interesting.
Scary cards be scary.
But yeah, final thoughts on BT25 from y'all. What we thinking? Final thoughts.
Love it. Have fun.
Way up. Critics are saying.
Yeah.
I'm in the mid range-ish for me. But yeah, BT25 has been pretty cool for most of us, and me on the other hand, whatever. But yeah, let us know down below in the comment section, what do you think about this format, BT25? I know BT25 feels very what's the word I'm looking for? People hate it and love it. Very mixed reactions.
Divisive is the word you're looking for.
There, divisive. Yeah. Yes.
Divisive.
Exactly. So let us know in the comment section below. With that being said, any parting words, gentlemen?
as I always say, momentai, everybody.
Keep playing Digimon. Don't quit. Even when we got a new card game coming out, don't quit Digimon. Digimon is in a fantastic spot. Don't listen to the people who are hating the game, okay?
Shout out to Breed Break. Never change. Just don't be more broken than what you are already.
Psych.
Psych!
With that being said, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe if you want to see more podcasts. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.
Momentai.